Hi guys, welcome back. What happens when you use resin that's been open to the air for 5 years? We're about to find out. You are not going to believe what I found in my crafting closet. You guys know I have a crafting room, but I also have an external closet, or a closet that's not in my craft room, that's dedicated to all my crafting supplies. And it's been a very, very long time since I cleaned it out. What I originally had done was, when I started my pencil channel, I had some crafting supplies in my craft room, but most of it got put into the closet. I haven't looked at it, and time just rushed by, and it's been a very long time. Too long. And I haven't cleaned that closet out since I put things in it. I found something in there that kind of surprised me. It's a bottle of old resin. And if you look at the date, it says April 2016. And this is Uniglow brand. Look what it looks like. Now, I don't know how many people have their resin still around. I didn't see anybody that had their resin around for 5 years. It expires about after 6 months. I have this much left, and this is the hardener. And I have a little bit of the resin left. I had transferred it into a glass jar because I had cracked it when I first got it. The plastic on the bottle, I dropped it. It had nothing to do with the company. It was a really hard drop, and it fell down like hard stairs. So that's why it broke. And it was just leaking a little bit. This was a great experiment. How many people have 5-year-old resin hanging around? What would happen if I used it? So it's kind of an experiment. And I'm going to mix it with a lot of different products to test out what products work on it. And I don't even know if it's going to set. I don't know what's going to happen. There's nothing out there on, you can use resin for, 5 years after you open it, even though it expires 6 months. So this is going to be a little bit of a surprise for me. Now, in comparison, I have a brand new fresh bottle. And look at the clarity on it. Okay, now if you look at the clarity against the one that's 5 years old, it's supposed to look like this. And well, you know what it looks like. It doesn't look like resin hardener. I'm going to make up about 150 cc's of it, or thereabouts. Maybe 150. This is the 1-to-1 ratio. Okay, I have 75 cc's of the hardener. And now I'm going to add 75 of, if it has 75 in it, I hope so. And this is the resin. That was a good guess. I had exactly the right amount, 150 cc's. Now I have a lot more hardener left over because it had originally spilt out. This is my 1-to-1, and I'm going to give it a good mix. Cloudy. And I'm going to mix for a couple of minutes, so I'll come back. Okay, while I was waiting for this to debubble, I mixed up a little bit of the brand new clear so that I can test it against each other. I have a mold, and I'm going to use. Now, if I was going to be making anything out of this, I would have used some tape on the mold because it's a little bit grimy from the last time I used it. In a normal situation, if I was creating something, I would make sure this was clean. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour the clear into this one. And I'm going to just leave it clear. I'm just popping some bubbles. Okay, and I'm going to pour the old resin, which is very bubbly and very thick. I imagine it's dehydrated, right next to it for a comparison. So that's the two of them. Now we can play with the rest of the resin. Let me just torch that. It has a lot of bubbles in it. So I have a little bit left. I'll pour it into here. And we'll make something out of it. And let's see if I have. Do this one. No, that's full. Okay. If you leave a little bit of resin in your cup, it'll come off and you can reuse your cups. Okay, so now I'm going to make up some stuff. I'm going to just put this over there. Just a second, and I'm going to mix up some resins. I like to use paper cups because let's clean up. Okay, let's see what we can do now. I'm going to pour a little bit of the resin into each one. leave that for now, and let's see if we can mix up some colors. First, I'm going to get some white. This is Castin Craft, and I'm going to put in about 10. Well, maybe not that much. It's very thick, very hard to get out of the bottle. That's the way it's supposed to be. Okay, I did 7 drops. Let's see what happens. I got a creamy yellow. I'm going to have to add a lot more than that. Okay, another 5. That's a little bit lighter. Now it's like an eggshell color. It's pretty opaque. And to that, I'm going to add a couple of things. I'm going to add some alcohol ink to it. This is going to be a pretty heavy, dense cup. To this one, let's see. I think I'm going to add this, because why not? This is an iridescent dragon glaze, and I wouldn't normally add this to my resin unknowing, but I want to find out what happens. And I should be wearing gloves. I forgot to put them on. I'm going to regret that. And this is like a purpley iridescent. No, I don't like that color at all. Like a brown. Add something else. How about some bronze green mica? And this is by Prestige Mica Pigment. This is an interesting color. It's pretty. Can you see the glitter? I'm going to add a nice. And let's see what happens. Oh, I could see the gold in it. Still not my favorite color. I'm going to add a little bit of yellow. How about this one, a yellow green? This is the way I cook too. I don't measure. I just eyeball it. That's a little bit better. Got a nice yellow dark chartreuse. Okay, so the next color I'm gonna, if I have a green, let's see, let's make a blue. I'm gonna start with an ultramarine, and I'm using Hisco paints. Okay, this is a beautiful blue color. Just give it like 3 or 4 drops, and we'll see how it turns out. And that's pretty translucent. And that's good. And then let's make up a turquoise. I have my turquoise color here. Okay, I'm gonna use my Bombay ink, and it's turquoise. I wanted like a greener turquoise. Let's see. I might be able to help it out a bit. Oh, be gorgeous. Oh my gosh, look at this color. I still want that a little bit greener. So I'm gonna add something called Magic Mica. And it's Magic Yellow, number 16. And this is also by Prestige. Not that much. A half a little scoopy. Okay, beautiful. Look at that. Now, I'm not going to mix it too much. I want to keep the swirls in it. How about a bronze or a copper? And this is Soap Shop Mica. Oh, it's beautiful. Look at that. Well, tell me that isn't satisfying. Then I'm going to keep a clear cup. So I have my colors, and let's play in one of these for now. I'll pour into the other mold whatever is left over, if there's anything left over. No, I'm going to start with the clear. And I'm going to add a little bit of the blue, the marine blue. We're just experimenting. And a little bit of white. And a little bit of green. And then some of the green, blue, turquoise color. Let's see what that happens. I want that on the outside too. That is really pretty. I'm going to save some of that. I'm going to add a little white on the outside and some copper. I'm going to add a little bit more white. Then some clear. Pushing everything back. I want to clear out the center for, I want this color again. And now I'm going to use my gun, my heat gun. I'm going to blow it a little bit. Oh, look at that. That's so nice. I hope this sets. I really do. And I'm going to add just a little bit more of that. I can use a little bit more clear. And I'm going to add in a little bit more blue. That sort of disappeared. I'm going to do it up high. Now, I have no idea what this is going to do. Okay, I'm going to just leave it. Now everything I have left, I'm going to just add into this cup. I want to keep this color. And I'm going to add a little bit of clear to it. This color is too pretty not to scrape the bottom of the bowl. Okay, so I have plenty to play with here. Well, maybe I'll make a swirl. That's pretty much it. I have a little bit more green left and some blue. Okay, so I'm going to light it now. And we're going to leave that. I'll be back when everything sets. I'm a couple of hours into this. And if this does not set, I'm going to be so upset. It's a full 24 hours later, and I looked at the bottom of it. That's not a good sign. How does this stuff feel? It's not hard. It's very, very soft to the touch. Almost, I have a little piece that was stuck on here, and it feels almost like rubber. Now, where did it go? I guess it dropped. Feels like rubber. Let's take it out, and I already know this one is really nice on the outside. And I peeped on the other side, and it was totally blue. Now, I love this color blue. And if it hardens up, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a heart that's completely clear, and then glue them together, and then give them to my goddaughter, because she would love this. This one is a keeper. This one, see, it's very bendy. Not hard at all. And this one, the green just sunk right down to the bottom. It was really, really thick, so the colors didn't really mingle with each other that well. This one popped out a little bit too, and while it had potential, it was that damn green color. Yuck. That's a no good. This one's kind of pretty. If you look, I just want to go slow if I can get it, the camera to stay focused. This kind of has two tones, so this is a keeper. Not too bad. Okay, this one's okay for kind of plain, but it definitely has a sparkle in it. I don't know if you could see it. So it's a keeper, and this one probably came out the same. It did. I don't think I added anything but clear to this one. Oh, this is that jade color. It's got some glitter in it. I think the glitter, it's an iridescent, I think from the last thing that I made. So it picked up on some of that, but it's really super soft. Well, 5-year-old resin, we have our answer. I'm hoping giving it a little bit more time. It's not sticky. I wouldn't even say it's tacky. It's smooth, but well, this is pretty. Well, this is the keeper. So I'm getting a couple of things out of it that I could eventually use in projects. And then this is a little bit more blue. Beautiful. And it's picking up the iridescent glitter that I had, which is good. So that's good. I've got a matching something if it ever hardens. Now these were just, I didn't add anything but that ugly green. I'm not going to keep these. I may put them in. I have a thing of these that I pull out from doing extra resins. So I put them in like a jar just for the colors. So that's where these will go. That's nice. And this should be exactly like that. Yeah, same one. Okay, so I imagine these are all the same. Just go a little faster so we'll get onto that one. This one is better because it's clear on the bottom. You could see it was clear and it's got a sparkle in it. Well, no, that's a keeper. That's the same. It'll go in that jar. And in that jar. Now, I don't have much hope for these. No, got covered up. This was, the white was heavier, so it really didn't allow the color to mix. It wanted to on this one. Yeah, there's a bubble right in the middle. But see, this is even thicker. It's not supposed to do that. Not after this amount of time. Okay, so that takes care of this, except for two. Here's the old resin. It didn't come out too bubbly, which I'm surprised. Kind of like magnifying glass, but it is definitely yellow. If I can, you can definitely see the yellow in it. And then this is the one that was clear, so you could see definitely two different colors. I'm not going to keep this one, but I'll keep that one. You never know. I might have to dome something with it. And this. Now, I've already looked on the back. I love the way the top of this came out. Let's take it out. Okay. This is a keeper. For this side, I'm going to dome this with some clear, cut, slice down the edges so they're not rough, file them down. And this is definitely a keeper. I love the way this came out. Now, if you were wondering where all the blue went that I put in there, oh, that's kind of interesting. It came out like dragon scales. Oh, I'm not as disappointed at it as I thought it was going to be. It's not horrible at all. Very interesting. But this is the keeper side. So I'm going to dome it with some good clear resin. And maybe the new stuff will harden it up, because it's definitely soft. That's what happens when you use resin that's been open to the air for 5 years. I will see you in my next video. Take care, guys.